don't forget to subscribe to the channel, turn on notifications and like videos.
Mercedes-Benz Concept CLA, an electric starship marauding for Tesla. New hyper-efficient EV concept features modern tech and a cool 1960s vibe. When the Mercedes-Benz folks told us we were going to see a concept of an all-electric CLA, and one of the most energy-efficient electric cars ever created, we thought they were talking about two separate vehicles. No, it turns out, they are one and the same. The EV version of the entry-level, compact CLA sedan is not merely a Tesla Model 3 competitor with Mercedes cachet and a cool mid-century vibe, it's also posed to be one of the most energy-efficient electric cars on the road. The electric answer to the 1-liter car. Efficiency isn't something people think about much when it comes to EVs, but for those who fret about sitting at a charger waiting to continue their road trip, or, the whole idea of reducing our energy footprint in general, it should be important. Employing much of the technology seen on the EQXX concept car we drove last year, the CLA will consume 19.2 kilowatt-hours to drive 100 miles, or, rather, it goes 5.2 miles per kilowatt-hour, if that makes more sense, according to Mercedes. To put that in perspective, the most miserly rear-drive version of the Kia EV6 electric crossover consumes 28 kilowatt-hours per 100 miles, 3.6 miles per kilowatt-hour, and the slippery Hyundai Ioniq 6 uses 24 kilowatt-hours per 100 miles, 4.2 miles per kilowatt-hour. The long-range Tesla Model 3 is somewhere in the middle, at 26 kilowatt-hours per 100 miles, equating to 3.8 miles per kilowatt-hour. As you can see, the CLA can stretch its kilowatt-hour notably farther than the competition. Mercedes considers the CLA concept to be the electric equivalent of the 1-liter car, a rarely achieved European ideal of going 100 miles on 1 liter of fuel, equivalent to about 240 miles per gallon. It's an admirable goal, and not one we'd expect to see on Mercedes' wish list. Tesla-like range. How much range does that kilowatt-hour number work out to? Mercedes didn't say anything about battery size, but it estimates 466 miles on the European WLTP test cycle. Before you spit your soda all over your keyboard, keep in mind WLTP is gloriously optimistic compared to the US market EPA test cycle, but that should still translate to a Tesla-like 350 to 375 miles here. More importantly, Mercedes says the 800-volt, 250 kilowatts charging system will pick up 250 miles, WLTP, in 15 minutes of fast charging. To accomplish this, Mercedes has stripped the CLA concept down to the barest elements. Oh, wait, no they haven't. Mercedes is tight-lipped about technical details, noting that the concept is engineered for rear-wheel drive, implying a single motor, thought the architecture can support all-wheel drive, and citing a new heat pump that is more efficient than a traditional heating and air conditioning system. But Benz is exuberant about the styling, and with good reason. The CLA concept exhibits all the leather-wrapped glitz we expect from a Mercedes, and we mean that quite literally, as the concept was upholstered in bright silver natural leather, but we're getting ahead of ourselves. Exterior styling, my God, it's full of stars. The CLA concept's shape is clearly related to the current internal combustion CLA, with emphasized muscle in the form of chrome-trimmed creases on the body sides. No shortage of bright work here, apparently Mercedes thinks it's time for chrome to make a comeback. Walk around back, and you'll see Mercedes has subtly stretched the lower end of the rear window out towards the trunk, masking a vaguely hatchbackish shape in what is clearly a CLA sedan. From faux grille to taillights, the CLA concept is festooned in 3-pointed stars. There are a billion of them in the grille cutouts, which light up in a greeting pattern when the car is switched on, carved into the headlights, and stamped into the 21-inch chromed aeroslick wheels. The taillights are 3-pointed stars, naturally, and the same shapes are even engraved into the glass roof, which extends to form the rear window as well. We asked one Mercedes staffer how many three-pointed stars there were, and the look on their face indicated that they hadn't counted and were dreading the thought of being asked to do so at our request. Interior styling, set phasers on stun. Inside, the CLA Concept features screens from pillar to pillar, including at the centers of the air vents, all sitting slightly proud of the beam-style dashboard on chrome risers. There's a very cool 1960s concept car vibe here, extending to big chromed plus and dash labeled pedals clearly visible on the flat and largely unadorned floor. The center console features a phone charger and cup holder cantilevered over dramatic chrome strakes, which from a lower storage tray that draws your eye to a glowing box. According to Mercedes, that's the water-cooled processor that runs the new MB.OS operating system that makes all the nifty graphics work. A jutting steering column with chrome metal stalks and 4 individual bucket seats top off the mid-century vibe. Of course, were this a true 60s concept car, the interior would be made from red meat and cigarettes. Instead, the Concept CLA's cabin is made of eco-friendly materials, including recycled PET, bamboo for the lush floor mats, a biotech-based synthetic silk used for the trim, and even paper. The leather is real formerly house-to-cow stuff, and it's tanned, to a very 1960s shiny silver, using vegetable-based tanning agents including coffee bean husks. The floating door panels feature the laurel leaf motif as seen in the Mercedes logo. As a whole, the CLA Concept's cabin has a Star Trek, TOS future vibe, and it is both comfortable and cool. Level 3 autonomy on the way. Behind the screens is technology that would do Scotty proud. The MMA platform on which the CLA Concept rides is the first to run fully on MB.OS, Mercedes' new proprietary software system. The installed hardware is capable of Level 3 autonomous driving. Note the taxi sign LiDAR sensor just above the Concept's windshield, functionality that will be available via an over-the-air update when Mercedes and local legislatures are ready. Note that Tesla's so-called full self-driving is only at Level 2. Expect a high degree of personalization, including interchangeable themes, as well as the Hey Mercedes virtual assistant. Mercedes reps described the Concept CLA as a close-to-production all-electric entry-level vehicle, so chances are that when the production CLA EV is launched at the end of 2024, it'll look very much like the concept you see here. Will we see it in the States? We're pretty sure, though whether the timing will be the same remains to be determined. Mercedes plans 4 vehicles off the MMA platform, including the CLA, a 4-door fastback, and a couple of SUVs. We were shown a slide of silhouettes, one of which had a distinctly squared-off profile, perhaps the baby G-Class we've been dreaming about. Given the strength of the SUV market, it's possible an electric replacement for the GLA subcompact SUV could come first. Still, given the popularity of Tesla's Model 3, and the CLA's emphasis on energy efficiency, the production CLA EV could very well be a rousing success here in the US. We eagerly await details of the production model, and we'll share them as soon as we get them.
Don't forget to subscribe to the channel, turn on notifications and like videos.